Okay, welcome to the live stream, guys. Sorry it's very late. I have just found out about something nightmare fuel. This is actually terrifying. I did not expect this. I thought someone had messaged me something about the Titanic something a little while back, but I didn't realize that this was going on like currently right now, and I'm very much new to the story. Whew, dude, it gives me anxiety just wanting to talk about it, and I really wanted to talk about it because it was really bothering me. It's going to bother me if I don't talk about it, which, if a lot of you guys do not know, there is a Titanic submersive that is called the Titan that went into the Atlantic Ocean to pretty much give a tour of the Titanic that sank to a bunch of people. And apparently what happened was we had lost communications with this vessel, and we don't know where it is, and it's underneath the Atlantic Ocean. It could be literally anywhere, and I am just so lightheaded even thinking about this subject, because this is one of my biggest fears. Going under the deep ocean is absolutely one of my biggest fears, and to have something go wrong in like a submarine really gives me anxiety. To give you an idea, and we're going to be doing some research while I'm live tonight, so I'm not really going to be focusing too much on the chat right now. If you guys want to join me on this discovery and this topic, then by all means be around in the chat. I'll get to you guys in just a moment, but we are going to be looking at certain things. So bear with me. Alright, that should be fine. I'll sit right here. You guys can see me okay. Okay, so I'm going to be... I'll show you guys really quick. Okay. Titanic submarine. And this is so... Oh, God. This is so real, man. I was blown away when I figured out this was a real thing. Missing Titanic submersible live updates, latest on search, and 5 occupants. There are 5 people on the submarine in the Atlantic Ocean that went missing. What do we know about the 5 passengers on the missing Titanic sub? I'm thinking about going to Titanic tourist submarines missing. Underwater noises detected. Underwater noises detected, huh? This is live right now. Yeah, that's the submarine that went underneath the ocean. Wow, that is the Titanic. No way. That's crazy. It's barely even... You almost can't even recognize it anymore. And that's the ocean floor, it looks like. Jeez, look how big the ocean floor is. That's crazy. Wireless connections. Yeah, 250,000! Dude, 250,000. Yet the sub is from Wish with cheap parts, billionaires on board, and actual controller knockoff. PlayStation, not actually PlayStation game controller, which is famous for losing. No fucking way. Hey Jason, how you doing, man? That is crazy. And by the way, thank you so much for joining, Brad. I appreciate you, man. Again, I'm not paying attention. I'm gonna be reading some of the stuff that's going on right now. And challenging search operation. Rear Admin John Mayer, commander of the 1st Coast Guard District, told NBC's Today Show Tuesday that his crew were working on prioritized underwater search and efforts to get equipment there. Experts told the Associated Press the challenges are difficult. It'll be difficult to find the Titan, which is just exactly what you want to hear. Canadian aircraft detects underwater noises during search for missing submersible U.S. Coast Guard says update. All right, I'm going to go back a little bit. I feel like there's probably a more Titanic submarine missing. I feel like there's a better top one we can go to. Okay, this gives me an anxiety because it's like I know. Oh my God, dude, just get off my screen. Thank you. As a search and rescue mission continues for the private submarine that went missing while on an expedition to explore the wreckage of the Titanic, more is emerging about the 5 passengers. Among the confirmed passengers are British businessman Hamish Harding, Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his teenage son Solomon. And if I'm mispronouncing any of these names, not intentional. And French explorer Paul Henry Nargiole. Stockton Rush, the CEO of Ocean Gate. Oh wow, so the CEO of Ocean Gate is on there too. The company of that operates the vessel. The CEO is on this thing. No kidding. Is also on it. Ocean Gate billed the trip an opportunity to become a few to see the Titanic with their own eyes. The company said that the fee for securing a seat on the vessel was $250,000, according to its website. The trip wasn't billed as mere tourism. However, with Ocean Gate noting that each of its dives has scientific purpose. Oh, so we're actually going to learn about this.
When you have auto blast damage, trust Safely. This dad and daughter were driving.
Hopefully you guys can hear this.
It's okay. We'll pull over.
He wouldn't take his car just anywhere.
You guys should be able to hear this now.
So he brought it to Safely. We replaced the windshield and recalibrated their car's advanced safety system. So features like automatic emergency braking will work properly. All right, all finished.
Wow, that's great. Thanks.
Stay safe with Safely. Schedule now.
Safe Flight Repair,
Safe Flight Replace.
We're going to begin this hour with the race to find a missing sub carrying 5 people in the North Atlantic. This is very serious stuff. The Titan was reported overdue on Sunday after diving toward the site of the Titanic shipwreck. Shipwreck, it's pronounced. CBS News' David Pogue went on board the Titan last year for a story about the sub and the company that owns it. The name of the company is Ocean Gate Expeditions. Here's a clip from David's story.
Titan is the only 5-person sub in the world that can reach Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea.
And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
So, the pressure vessel is not MacGyver at all.
What?
Because that's...
What? Improvised?
Where we worked with Boeing and NASA and the University of Washington. Everything else can fail. Your thrusters can go, your lights can go, you're still going to be safe.
Boy, in a statement, Ocean Gate says this: they're exploring and mobilizing all options to bring the crew back safely. It went on to say that it's, quote, thankful the extensive assistance that we've received from several government agencies and deep-sea companies in the search. David Pogue joins us now. David, I mean, this is just terrifying and so scary. We're all...
Yeah, you can only imagine. I couldn't even imagine what's going through those people's minds right now. Why was this even a thing? Yeah, okay, scientific, sure, but like a tour. I guess they said it wasn't meant to be like a tourist thing, but still, man, why would you want to go down that deep? They said the Titan sub may actually be stuck inside the wreck of the Titanic. Oh! Yikes, that is fucked up. Oh my goodness. Stuck in the wreckage of the Titanic itself. So how are they going to get him out? They're going to have to destroy the Titanic. They're going to have to rip that thing apart to fucking get him out. If that thing is not operational, it's not going to be able to swim right out of it. And depending on what angle it's in... Oh, dude, I couldn't even imagine. These people are probably running out of oxygen. How much oxygen does this thing have on it? I'm sure it has to have oxygen, right? They're not going to go down there without, extra oxygen. There's no way. Tourism, however, the Open Gate scientific... excuse me, sorry about that. I'm drinking water. In a June 17th Facebook post, Harding announced that he was proud of joining the expedition. I'm not sure how proud he is right now, but yeah. The team on the sub, a couple legendary explorers, some of which done 30 dives in RMS Titanic since the 1980, including PH and Argyle. He noted, "Here's what to know about the passengers in the vessel." No, did not want to click that. Get off my screen. Harding is the chairman of the company called Action Aviation, which sells aircraft to Fortune 100 companies and international corporations, head of state. And okay, so this is one of the guys on the vessel right now. No sign of missing Titanic tourist sub. It could be anywhere. Okay, so basically we're just... This is just kind of getting an idea of all the people inside the Titanic right now. Or, well, the Titan, I'm sorry, the Titan, not Titanic. Though it sounds like they might actually be inside the Titanic. They say the Titan actually inside the wreck of the Titanic. Grassy, how are you doing? Thank you so much for hopping on in, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on in. Hit the like button. Less than 30 hours of oxygen. Oh my god. Oh my good god. Oh, they have literally a little over a day left before they run out of complete oxygen. That is so fucked up. Look at that. So they've been under there for about 2 days now. Rescuers have 3 days to find the passengers before they run out of air.
45 minutes later, all contact was lost. The Submersible is a state-of-the-art vehicle developed with the help of NASA. It's deployed from a larger ship, which remains on the surface as the smaller craft.
And dude, you got to think about, only 5 people can fit in this thing. 20-foot sealed tube. 5 people. 20 feet, that's a decent length, but for 5 people, it's a bit crammed. I can't imagine what's going through I don't even want to imagine what's going through their minds right now. Probably chaos. Probably ready to fucking kill whoever's responsible. I have no idea what's going Oh my god, I can only imagine. I know what would be going through my mind right now if I was down there. I'd probably have died of a panic attack at this point, if I had to be actually just blunt. This wasn't right. It was all about the money for this company. Yeah, they really should have done better research. The pressure outside the sub, as described in the movie Titanic, is great. That if the window seal goes, the Sirena to microseconds. Yikes. What are we up to now? We are talking about how a missing Titanic submersible went missing in the Atlantic Ocean. This is something I had found out about tonight, and I had to jump on into it. I had to talk about it. So, yeah, we're talking about it right now. I'm not really paying attention too much to the chat right now. I'm getting your comments every once in a while, but I'm really just doing my research. And I thought it'd be fun if you guys kind of hopped along in and joined me for this really interesting conversation.
Lives below. A handful of tourists pay to travel with research scientists to see the Titanic. The company recently shared the most high-resolution images ever seen of the doomed ship. U.S. Coast Guard has now joined in the search, probing a remote area some 900 miles off the coast of Massachusetts. The Coast Guard says the 5...
Dude, is it even crazy that I'm actually more concerned about the people than even... to me, it's irrelevant. Titanic is irrelevant. Who cares? It's a ship that sank years ago. I'm more concerned about getting these people out. I'm way more concerned about that.
On board had enough oxygen to survive for 96 hours. Tonight, the clock is ticking down. ABC's Jay...
I hate... Fuck, man. Fuck. It's like the Titanic is claiming more victims, dude. It brings a tear to my eyes. Not the Titanic. It's almost like the Atlantic Ocean in itself is just claiming more people. Fuck, what a dangerous fucking place.
Longman leads us off.
Tonight, a race against time in the desperate search for a missing submersible carrying 5 crew members touring the wreckage of the Titanic.
The ocean is so vast.
The US and Canadian Coast Guard scouring an area over 900 miles off the coast of Massachusetts, deploying radars and sonars capable of searching above and below the water.
We're working very closely at this point to make sure that we're doing everything that we can do to locate the submersible and rescue those on board.
The ship left Newfoundland, Canada on Friday, carrying a submersible operated by Ocean Gate Expeditions. That vessel started its voyage down to the Titanic Sunday morning. Officials say an hour and 45 minutes into that dive, the ship lost contact with the sub and alerted the Coast Guard.
An hour into their dive, so they're at least an hour underneath the ocean, if not all the way to the bottom of the seafloor by now. I mean, at this rate, I would expect them to be on the bottom of the seafloor. Titan sub is so small, nowhere to sit on the floor, not even cushion. So, oh, dude, you got that fucking going through your mind. You got the crampness. You got, hopefully there's nobody who's claustrophobic, even a slightly bit of claustrophobic at this point, because that might really piss someone off. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look up the controller that they use to control the Titan. That's a good thing. Controller used for submarine, I'm assuming. An Xbox 360 controller. Not even an Xbox One, an Xbox 360 controller. To operate the the submarine, okay, let's go to Titan. Titan Tourist Sub uses game controller. Xbox 360 controller. They're using an Xbox 360 controller to... Wow. I wonder if I'm sure they brought food and water. I'm sure they were planning on being down there for at least a day. Probably a day. If not, I wouldn't say a full day, but I'm sure they brought food. If they didn't, then starvation might be going through their minds too. This is literally nightmare fuel for me. This is... I have no interest, and people have asked me, what would you do if, like, they made spaceships and they were going out to outer space, right? And you had to choose whether you wanted to stay on Earth and just accept fate or go in outer space. But there's so much that could go wrong with the vessel that you're going in that I'd almost rather just go out with the fucking planet, because I am just too scared of the concept of going up way too high or going down way too low. And to go that far underneath the ocean, it's risky. It's risky. If anything happens under there, you are in deep shit. No bathroom. Yeah, you're gonna have to... Dude, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure... oh, yeah. I've been on a submarine in Hawaii years ago, and it was a bit scary, not gonna lie. When me and Michael went to Texas, we actually got to go on one of these submarines, like one of these Navy submarines. And it was very cramped. It was bigger than this thing. So... to give you an idea, and I don't know if I filmed inside of it all too much. I think I just went on the tour of the submarine. It was a very cool experience, but I would never be a part of one. Fuck that. Yeah, only 20 feet long. That's not that long. Yeah, that is not that long. It's a very cramped space. There's going to be claustrophobia that's going to be kicking in. There's going to be paranoia that's going to be kicking in. The fear of death. God, it's scary, dude. It's really scary. I'm gonna go ahead and look at. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this video.
OceanGate says a crew of 5 has enough oxygen to survive for 96 hours.
There could have been an accident. It could have become entangled in the wreckage of Titanic.
Like you said,
it could indeed have had a catastrophic failure. The answer is we don't know just yet.
An epic voyage to the world's most famous shipwreck. This is a rare opportunity for you to explore Titanic as an actual member of the expedition crew.
Since 2021, OceanGate Expeditions offered tour.
No one's ever going to do that now. No one's... yeah, good luck with your business, because no one's never going to fucking go on this thing. I have a fear of drowning. Yep, drowning. Tracy, how are you doing? Guys, thank you so much for hopping on into the live stream. If you are new around here, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, of course, and let me know that you're watching. Let's hope it's okay. I am praying it's okay. I'm really hoping... Well, someone actually just said that they have less than 30 hours of oxygen left, which, if that's the case, by the time I go to bed and wake up, if, you know, they're not awake... I mean, if they're not found... Not awake. If they're not found within that time period, it's a scary thought of where they could be at this point. Yeah, it's 10 feet longer than your living room. Just like Apollo 13, if they become panicked and hyperventilating, the oxygen will run out faster than normal. Yeah, I think I actually heard something about, like, if they're taking in too much oxygen all at once and they start hyperventilating or stuff like that, yeah, the oxygen will run out faster, which just amps it up to a different level of just, oh, good golly.
Paying roughly $250,000 a chance to travel with scientists studying the doomed ocean liner 2 miles down at the bottom of the ocean. That tour aboard a submersible called Titan. It's the only one in the world able to carry 5 people to Titanic depths.
We are taking scans of the wreck.
The sub itself doesn't have a GPS, but it's guided to the wreckage site by the ship above via text message. The round trip is at least 8 hours long. The sub is supposed to rise to the surface if there are any problems.
There is a mechanism whereby you can release weight and this thing can float to the surface. So I'm just hoping that that works.
Tonight, ABC...
That'd be really helpful, wouldn't it? That means they'd be up by now, if that was the case. If that thing had just gone off, maybe they would have been up to the surface by now. Maybe they are, who knows? Maybe they just haven't gotten a hold of anybody. But no, you would really think that by now they would have definitely gotten a hold of somebody to let them know that they made it back up to the surface. The fact that they haven't just goes to show, and I think it actually goes to improve, another point of what Brad said earlier. It's a good possibility that maybe they got caught in some sort of wreckage, the Titanic wreckage, in which case they would have to go inside the Titanic or destroy it in some cases to hopefully, get them out of there so they can come back up to the surface. Very scary concept. Very scary. Again, we'll never know what's going through their minds at this moment. But whatever's going through their minds, man, I wish them nothing but the best. I hope something comes around. I hope we have some good news within the next few hours. Or whenever. Hopefully by the end of the day we'll have some fantastic news. Maybe they find them. I hope so. But at that rate, man, to me, it's like just another fucking disaster on that ocean. Of all things, text message. I don't know if they would have reception from down there, would they? I don't think they would have reception all the way down at the bottom of the seafloor. Yeah, I think they'd be just fucked at that rate. Probably suffered a crack at explosive decompression, crushing and a tin cannon, killing everyone instantly. Isn't that just terrifying and beautiful to think about? And these guys all sound like pretty damn smart people, so they probably already have that concept going through their mind while they're down there. I'm sure they've all talked about it. Well, if anything happens, this could happen, and it's like, and if the CEO of that company is down there, man, oh my God, I could only imagine what is being said to him at this moment. These people are ready probably just to fuck him up. Because he's responsible. He is the CEO of that company. So that is the one person you would not want to be a part of that situation. Because you are the one to blame in that moment. This might be the last time they do this. Let's hope the window doesn't not break. Right. Who is doing this, Jordan? Who is doing this, Jordan? What do you mean? Why did they do this? This was supposed to be a moneymaker for the company. Pretty much so you can have the experience of going down to the seafloor to actually look at the real Titanic wreckage and pay $250,000 to get a seat on the submarine, which I, again, doubt anybody's going to do ever now that this has happened. They would never want to be in this situation. No person in their right mind would want to be in this situation. Most people probably wouldn't even want to fucking risk going down that low underneath the ocean floor. Since they lost communication, it could cost electronics in the it could be electronics in the sub, therefore no lights or air circulation. Which, if that was the case, yeah, I don't even want to talk about that at the moment. That's pretty much one of the worst case scenarios. That's scary. That is terrifying. Holy shit. I don't even know what to say. There's more than just Titanic down there. The sister ship should be around there as well. Probably. Oh, I'm sure there's more ships than just the Titanic. No, he did not go under to look at the real Titanic when he made the movie. Not to my knowledge. It was just a movie. But this, but it does look like this thing has worked before. It looks like they've made it down there before without any problems. So they probably did not expect this to happen. Sorry, I'm not trying to fuck my... Design with life support to sustain 5 crew members for 96 hours. Submersible would be needed to rescue in 3 days. 5 passengers, according to the Coast Guard. Stockton Rush founded Washington in the Washington-based Ocean Gate in 2009 to make deep sea explorations more accessible to scientists and tourists. Yep. Well, their company's done. Communication is really key. Knowing that they lost communication, a former passenger, Kelly Parsons, said about the safety of the vessel as OceanGate video. We know he lost communication, Mark said. It's probably not just malfunctioning, because then they would have to just come back up on the surface and have started communicating from the surface, so I fear something worse happened. The search effort will be more time-consuming than complicated if the craft is still submerged under the water, according to Marquet. Rescuers would have to locate the submersible itself and find a way to extricate it from the ocean. Both immensely challenging tasks, he said. Most submarines, including military attack submarines and the vessels of the rescue submarines during emergencies, cannot reach the depths of the Titan. Cannot reach the depths that the Titan can reach, making it more difficult to go rescue them because they can't go down that far. Now imagine knowing that in the back of your mind. Imagine being down there knowing that most of the submarines in the world cannot make it to you. Oh, man. Last report I heard, it was 10,000 miles search range. Sea is a scary place, bro. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised they even want to try to do something like this. Did they get training before they went below? I'm assuming, yeah, there was probably training. This is haunting, chilling to think about. Oh yeah, this scares me more than the paranormal. This whole concept right here. I'm claustrophobic for one, so I would not like that. George, they've been hearing sounds from them now. They're banging on the walls of the vessel and the signal help, hearing the sounds every 30 minutes. They're trying to use the sounds to try and get... That is so cool to hear. I'm so happy to hear that. That's what I assumed was going on. Maybe like some sort of Morse code, where they were trying to pick up on where these people are. Or like not trying to pick up where these people are, but like the passengers trying to help them find them. Oh, that is so good to hear. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you for jumping in, George, and saying that, man. But yeah, no, that is at least some good news right there about the whole situation. But yeah, no, the fact that they said the second they lost communication makes them think that, you know, something even worse happened. Oh, God. Searches for Titanic tour. I'm not really sure how much more I can read about this that I already have not read about or have learned about. Years before OceanGate submersible craft went missing in the Atlantic Ocean to 5 people on board, the company faced several warnings as it prepared for the hallmark mission of taking wealthy passengers to tour the Titanic's wreckage. It was January 2018. The company's engineering team was about to hand over the craft named Titan to a new crew who would be responsible for ensuring the safety of the future passengers. But experts inside and outside the company were beginning to sound alarms. OceanGate's director of marine operations, David Lockridge, started working on a report around the time, according to the court documents, ultimately producing a scathing document in which he said the craft needed more testing and stressed the potential dangers to passengers on the Titan as the submersible reached extreme depths. So they were aware that not everything was perfect on this little submarine. They were aware of it, and they were warned about it. And yet, we still decided to bring 5 people down to the depths of the ocean. That changes a lot right there, actually. Where was I? 2 months later, OceanGate faced similarly dire calls from more than 3 dozen people, industry leaders, deep-sea explorers, and oceanographers, who warned in a letter to its chief executive, Stockton Rush, that the company's experimental approach on the decision to forego a traditional assessment could lead to potential catastrophe, problems with the Titanic mission. So this is back in 2018 when this was going on. And here we are in 2023, and every little warning that they were warned about has actually happened. Wow. Now, as the international search for crafts enters another day, more is coming to light about the warnings leveled to OceanGate as the company raced to provide extreme tourism for the wealthy. Well, I'm assuming that if they do manage to survive this situation, this company is going to be sued for everything it's got. It is absolutely going to be sued, without question. Like, to me, that's the least of the problems that are going on right now, but that is just one of the things. Hell, they might get just sued anyways because they were warned about it. A spokesman for Ocean Gate declined to comment to 5 years old critiques from Mr. Lockridge and the industry leaders. Nor did Mr. Lockridge respond to the request for comment. Mr. Rush, the company's chief executive, is one of the passengers on the vessel. That's who I thought. I thought that's who the guy was. And so, what did it say about him? The spokesman, Rush, company's chief executive, one of the passengers on the vessel, and serving as its pilot when it went missing on Sunday, the company said on Tuesday. An aerospace engineer and pilot, he founded the company based Everett, Wash in 2009. For the past 3 years, he has charged up to $250,000 per person and a chance to visit the wreckage of the Titanic, which sank in 1912 on its inaugural trip from England to New York. The critiques from Mr. Lockridge and the experts who signed a 2018 letter to Mr. Rush were focused on what they characterized as Mr. Rush's refusal to have the Titan inspected and certified by one of the leading agencies that do so much work. Mr. Lockridge reported the court's records. Okay, so basically the bottom line is that they were warned about this thing and no one listened. So now they are facing the consequences. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you guys for hopping on in, by the way, if you're making it to the live stream. Really appreciate you guys. How is everybody doing tonight? Sorry about that. I'm learning right now about this whole situation. Hello, sir. How are you? Yeah, sub-story sounds terrific. Hey, thank you so much for joining, Jeeves. Glad you could make it to the live stream. How many times before they learned to stop cutting corners, the guy who warned them was fired, and someone else hired and said it was safe? Wow. Wow, so they hired the guy who was telling them what they wanted to hear, but they got rid of the guy who told them basically the facts of the matter, which was the submarine is not ready or needs to be tested more before going down to such deep depths. And here we are, about 4 or 5 years later, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, yeah, about 5 years later, and guess what just happened? Exactly what they were told was going to happen if this continued. Yeah, I think it's a bit more than a big oops. This is a big oh fuck. They've been hearing sounds from them. Besides things that cheap rich man's fantasy, 1,500 dead on Titanic died tragically. They wouldn't want to be a tourist attraction. Yeah, that's also, yeah, the amount of possible, like, yeah, just, yeah. Yeah, there's another good point right there, man. Absolutely. This is the most fucked up story I think I have, like, this is more fucked up than the Las Vegas alien incident. This is really fucked up. This is next level. They should have sent a drone alongside the sub. I don't know if a drone would have been able to go down that far. It's been a while since I've been on a live. Yeah, I was about to say that too. Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on a live stream, Jeeves. Let's go ahead and go back to this really quick. Okay, this is a lot. "28 people were able to visit the Titanic wreckage on the Titan last year, so it worked for them for a little while, but having said that, just because it worked for them around those times doesn't mean it was going to work every time. I'm kind of hoping it's updated. Nope, it hasn't updated yet. Lawsuit, insufficient, oh wow, look at that. Look at that, lawsuit. Insufficient prototype testing could put Titanic sub passengers in extreme danger, so a lawsuit's already been filed. Wow, that was fast. Perfect timing. I was just saying how they're probably going to get sued. Yeah. Underwater noises detected. This is what George said a minute ago. Titanic sub live. No sign of vessel as search continues, but banging. Banging noise heard, says U.S. Coast Guard. I mean, there's not really a whole lot I can read on that because it's just banging underneath the water, kind of letting them know that, hey, we are down here. Can you guys get us out right now? Oh, my God. Think about how tall the Empire State Building is and a stack of 9 of each. Yeah. Yeah. 9 fucking Empire State Buildings. That's how far deep the Titanic is right now. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. And these poor individuals are down there. Live updates. There's the Titanic. You're a long way from help, a former Navy pilot said. Wow. Wait, this is something that Jeff Eggers, a former Navy who spent 4 years piloting military mini-submarines at his home, a former national security official who operated a deep-dive submersible for the Navy, said on Tuesday that piloting a vessel like the one that rescuers are searching for in the North Atlantic was like navigating in outer space. You are a long way from anything that can give you help, said Jeff Eggers, a former Navy commander who spent 4 years piloting military mini-submarines that were similar in size to the missing submersible called the Titan, but more technologically sophisticated. You're incredibly reliant on the integrity of the vessel, and you're dependent on the resources you've built into the craft. Basically, this guy has pretty much just said, good luck. Yeah. Wow. We know so little about the ocean, it's terrifying, so how people are being confident about going down there like that, it's crazy. If they're rescued, they'll have to remain in the pressured environment for a while, so not to suffer from the bends, right? I used to want to do this stuff. Glad I'm not. Titan. Yeah, no kidding. I don't think I'd ever want to do this stuff. This seems like too much for me. James Cameron has gone to Titanic 33 times, 7 miles below the surface. That is crazy. If they find them, water pressure is too great to extract down there. Must race slowly to surface before they can be released from it. I'm glad I'm not on it. Yeah, no kidding. So it does. I even hate saying this, but it does sound like the chances of them surviving this are very slim. It's not even 50-50 at this point, which is just horrible to say. I'm absolutely disgusted I have to say that, but it sounds like even from the professionals, they're like, it's very slim. Basically, we're going to need a miracle to find these guys and get them out of there. Do we know who is on it? Yes, I went through the list of people earlier. There was a list of people. They're basically a bunch of scientists, in a sense, or big-name people, including the CEO of the company that runs runs and makes the submarines that they used, is also on the submarine. I even feel disgusted at myself for even doing a live stream while these people are down there suffering. But it's like I literally just found out about this news, and I'm just so deeply concerned about their safety. Absolutely just deeply concerned for them. I'm almost like really wanting this thing to update right now. That's something though. The banging is something, at least, right? What else can I read? What we know about the missing tourist sub that disappeared. I think I've already read everything that we've known on it. Basically, the people were warned that something could go wrong one day, and they decided, nope, we're not going to listen to anybody. We're just going to do us. And now every issue that they were warned about has happened, and now these 5 people are not looking so good right now. I think they know of 3 people on it so far. Of the 5, it said that a young son, one of the guys had a young son who's on it right now. His life cut short, but at least with his father down there. Yeah, heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Imagine that. Want to come and see the Titanic today? Little did he know. Little did he know, right? Okay, that was 2 hours ago. It wasn't recent. The noises were 2 hours ago. At this rate, all we can do is just hope and pray that they make it. That's all we can do at this point. This is gonna be the next horror film. It's gonna be a while probably till they make a horror film about this, but yeah, it would be a very terrifying concept. This is gonna be the next horror film. The horrors of people stuck in the place like off boat, in the cable car, up in the antenna. If they love, I'll come out sooner. But just someone already writing something. Nah, it's certainly one of these moments that is just. It's almost hard to believe it's even happening. Again, I don't know what's going through these poor folks' mind, but I could only imagine. Oh yeah, there'll definitely be a documentary about this. Fuck, it's just horrible. I don't even. Oh god, I really hope they come out. That's all I'm worried about right now. That's all I'm concerned about is just whether or not these guys are gonna come out. Okay, that's just all that's going through my mind at the moment. Gives me anxiety. I have absolute anxiety. Whew. Sorry, I'm just in thought. I'm just in thought at this moment. Yeah, thank you for joining, Ashley. Glad you can make it to the live stream. This has just been on my mind these past few minutes now, ever since I found out about the submarine going missing. Why would they? Oh, God. Just crazy. Alright, I think we're done with that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think we're done talking about that. Or looking at the files online, and there's not much more I can say about it besides that these guys they were down there for 40 hours. They were down to 40 hours of air 1 p.m. this afternoon, so that's less than 30 hours left by now. For a quick couple million willing to not use the quality parts to be the next tourist trap, 96 hours is the limit. Limit. 96 hours, I think, is, yes, the absolute limit that they had on the oxygen. Yeah, and now they've been down there for at least 40 hours now, almost like about 2 days now. So you can already assume that they are very, very slim on oxygen. My fucking heart is pounding, man. I'm not even down there. I'm not even sure what's going through their minds right now, but I can just only imagine. I feel like I'm an empath because I can only just feel the fucking pressure of what they could be going through. Like a small smidge version of it. It makes me want to snap my fingers, makes me want to just stand up and start walking. And the fact that they had a kid down there too is just absolutely heartbreaking. The whole situation is just absolutely heartbreaking. Of course, I'll probably make a video the second I get an update. The second I get anything that's good news, or even bad news, I'll probably talk about it. Even knowing I don't think there's anything to talk about, it's just such a sucky situation. It's basically like the Chile miners disaster. Right. I don't think I know. Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Right, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. Actually, I think I saw the movie that was based on. That was also a crazy situation, but yeah. People are stuck somewhere out of reach. That is always the most horrible part. But when you have someone as professional as this guy telling you that, your chances are looking a little grim. People stuck somewhere just out of reach. They were rescued, but it wasn't easy. No, it wasn't easy. They had to, yeah. I remember watching the film that was based on. I think it was actually just called 33. I think it was called 33. The 33. Yeah, and it had Antonio Banderas in it. It was actually not a bad movie. It was actually a pretty solid time. But, yeah, I'm not trying to obviously distract from the real situation here, the real horrors of what's going on. But, yeah, that... how can they go down there knowing the ship is... I think that was... I think the only person that knew was the CEO, who truly knew the problems that, they were being warned about. And I guess he probably did not tell them anything, at least any of the other passengers. you know, in case that they were going to get worried and freaked out and stuff, he probably thought, you know, we got this in the bag. I'm sure this thing will do just fine. And all of a sudden, guess what happened? The absolute one thing that they were warning them about that could happen, happened. And just think, that guy is down there with them. And I'm not trying to make any assumptions. I'm not trying to, well, make any assumptions. But that guy, the things that have probably been said to him in the past 2 days by now have probably been just horrific. Like, I could see just going around it, but not on it. Right. Yeah, the Titanic, dude, is disintegrating. I think they just released, like, actual images of the Titanic itself. Yeah, it was like a money reason, obviously. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's all money, you know, based, yeah. But let's go back over here really quick. Sorry, I have to go through a process to get everything kind of going again. So let's go ahead and close that. All right, let's go back here. The Titanic. These are actual images of the Titanic right now. This right here. That is apparently the Titanic on the bottom of the seafloor at the moment. Very clear images. That's a pretty good one right there. Very clear images. But yeah, it's almost hardly, you almost can't even recognize it anymore. I can only imagine the schools of fish that probably live inside this thing. They tried a 3D map so it wouldn't forget it when it's gone. Yep, it's been down there for over 100 years. Isn't that crazy to think about? For over 100 years, the Titanic has laid dormant under there. Yeah, I always assumed they kept the sub attached to the cables. Do they not do that? I guess not. All right, Philip, have a good night, man. Thank you for hopping on in. Hope you get a good night's sleep. Those are great images and stuff. Absolutely crazy. And you can still even see the numbering on one of the propellers, it looks like. Or whatever it is. That's what it looks like right now. The Titanic. From over 100 years ago. (1912). 1912. Okay, I'm gonna go check and see if anything is updated about it. Please update. No. It's not gonna update that soon. It's not gonna update that soon. Be awesome if it did. Fuck. Absolutely makes my heart pound. Has anyone watched Doctor Who with the episode called Midnight Trapped on a Commercial Vehicle? Lonely. I've never seen a Doctor Who episode in my life. But, I think this is a good probably place to end the live stream. I just wanted to kind of talk about it for a little bit. I'm very happy you guys could join me for this conversation. I really hope, and please leave comments underneath the video. Give me updates on anything you hear. If you hear anything and I miss it, please update me by leaving comments underneath the video after it's been posted. Okay, guys. Thank you again for hopping on in. I really appreciate it. I'd love to see you on more live streams, Jeeves. Thank you so much for making it to the live stream. Ashley, I appreciate you hopping on in. Cheyenne, everybody, thank you guys so much for making it. Brad, I appreciate you, man. And George, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for the information. Again, if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely wanting to hear more about this. All right, guys, please do take care. I'll see you next time.